Kestrel's down. We gotta keep pushing to that barn.
What's in the barn, Dad?
A couple of mules.
Huh. Oh, this ought to be good.
Mulehorn Gaming Podcast. We blew it up.
What's up, fellas? This is the Mulehorn Gaming Podcast, and I have my other cool co-host here with me. What's up, fellas?
Howdy.
What it do? What it do?
I don't even know what that was. You can cut that out. I don't even know.
Was that like the Yeehaw? Like what show was that?
If I know, man.
Yeah,
Yeehaw.
there's like an old show where like there was a farmer and I can't remember the name of it. Anyways,
Was it Old MacDonald? Did he have his own spin-off show?
Howdy
no, he
doody.
did not.
Hee-haw.
No, that wasn't. Yeehaw. That was it. Yeehaw.
Yeah, I knew it was one of the two.
Yeah. Well, Dirty, how's your week been, man?
My week's been fine. It's been filled with gears, but my nights sucked the big D piece because I've been sitting on a week late rendering project for my lighting, rendering, and composition class that I haven't lit, but I've almost completely textured, so
Yeah. That sounds interesting.
It's irritating. Especially when my frickin' program crashes and I have to go back and retexture the stairs, which were a pain.
Yeah.
That does suck.
Yeah.
Well, T.
So that's my
Brian,
week.
I heard you got some game time in this week.
Hally freaking Luya.
Yeah, I actually saw you on Xbox the other night.
I know. I actually got to the pleasure to ignore someone too. I was like, ha! I felt good.
Nope. It's time for campaigning.
Sorry, Captain Deadpool. My bad. Yeah, I got some of the Gears of War 4 in, and I didn't get too far into it. Just the defending the first colony level. But I will say, nice, clean, beautiful, and polished. I dig it.
Yeah.
Can't wait for some more, and then eventually some Horde.
Oh, yeah.
For the Horde.
Well, cool. How about you, Circuit? How's your week been, man?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Sleep deprived. I've been up late working on my Horde, getting my Horde on. I beat the campaign for Gears.
On
normal, which apparently is some sinnable offense because I know the spoilers that Dirty doesn't. And
the Dirty spoils.
And I actually rank 13 in online play now, trying to get my various classes leveled up and trying them out and everything. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. Today, though, I got my Pictionary on. We had some family game night. We have a gigantic dry erase board that we actually used to use in my band's jam room to write up like schedules and different ideas and stuff. So it's pretty sizable. And we hauled it out the other day, and my daughter's like, "We should play Pictionary on that." Like, okay,
oh dang,
it's a good idea.
Done.
Yeah.
So I have just totally decimated both of them each time we played so far. I'm not bad at Pictionary.
I'm in to win it.
Oh yeah,
in it to win it.
Oh yeah. My daughter started saying, "Why don't we just wait until we're done drawing the picture before we guess?" And I'm like, "That's not how you play. That's not how you play Pictionary. Like, you can go draw a picture all day long, but we're playing Pictionary right now."
Yeah.
So played Pictionary,
cool,
took a little Nizap, and here I am.
Well, my week has been good, except for being sick, as you might could tell a little bit. A little under the weather, but I actually got sick and from my son probably Monday night, and then Tuesday I ended up staying home, so it kind of just worked out. I got to play a little bit of Gears.
Yeah, blame it on the kid.
Oh, it did. It just worked out. It just so happened that way. But really, I was feeling bad. But I got to play some Gears. It was fun. Actually. I played a board game with my wife, Life. I haven't played that game in I don't know how long.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Life's awesome though.
You know. But it was kind of funny because like we were going through and there's like a spot where you have to get married, you know. And I was like, do I have to do it? She's like, yeah. It's like, okay. So I stuck my wife in the very back of the van, and she's like, what is that? I was like, she's in the back of the bus, man.
It's game, baby. It's game.
Like, do I have to get married, or can I just take the promotion instead?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's been my week. Not super eventful, but some good, a little bit of game time in, and a little bit of board game, as Gravy likes to call it, pen and paper. So
hey, man, it counts.
Yeah,
pen and paper.
Gravy.
D.
There's paper involved in life, but yeah,
board games.
But anyways, yeah. Check out our website, guys, at mulehorngaming.com. If you want to be a cool cat and help us out, like our other cool cats there, you can go to patreon.com/mulehorngaming. You can check out all our ninjas and ninjaettes at ninjapancake.com. There's lots of cool podcasts over there. You got stuff like a Bombshell Jacket. Yeah, that's a good one.
My morning coffee.
My morning coffee. That's one of my faves.
I think I like my evening beverage a little better.
Oh,
my evening. Oh, when he does in the afternoon recording.
Remy plus
beer.
Are
you talking about? Yeah. And if you guys didn't catch it last podcast, we have a deal with bottlebreacher.com now where you can get a awesome breacher so you can pop your cold one in style.
Pop a tub again.
Just use all caps Mulehorn 10%, and you can get 10% off your purchase. It's pretty awesome.
And 10% off a mule if you're lucky.
Oh, snap.
Can you make it any smaller?
Oh, my gosh. Whatever that is. Anyways, let's send it over to Dirty Bombs for some rapid fire news.
Rapid fire news.
Batman the Telltale Series Episode 3 will launch digitally worldwide for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on October 25th. Release dates for additional platforms will be announced in the near future. French media giant Vivendi on Wednesday ruled out making a hostile bid for video games maker Ubisoft. Quote, "We do not want to make a hostile bid for Ubisoft," end quote. Vivendi Chief Operating Officer Stephanie Rousseau told reporters. Looks like Guardians can anticipate yet another Festival of the Lost event for Destiny. A new update came out for Overwatch that includes skins, emotes, and more, and Ubisoft is giving away free copies of Beyond Good and Evil. That was Rapid Fire News. Get on back to shenanigans now.
All right, guys. Well, this podcast, we're going to talk about Gears of War, of course, and the Mules have been known to talk a little bit of Star Wars, so we're going to venture into
just
a little Rogue One. So, and before we start all this, and by the way, we have your word on the tweets, of course, which is probably one of my favorite parts of the podcast. I love that part.
Oh, yeah.
So, but before we get into this, guys, I've never really asked you this question, and so I want to ask you and get deep and personal here.
Oh.
So,
surely there's a better way to say that.
No, you have to say it that way. But I want to ask you guys, what is your ideal setup? So, like, if you have a long game night, you're going to settle in, you're going to play some Horde, or you're going to run the raid, you're going to do something like that. What is your ideal setup? What's your go-to snacks, beverages, all that fun stuff? Because I don't think I've ever asked you guys that.
Well, I'll audition mine first. Even though you misspelled my name in podcast notes.
Thaddeus.
I did. I just noticed that. Dust.
The Deuce.
Yeah.
The Deuce.
You're now the Deuce.
Right.
You're now Thaddeus.
That's funny. So if it was going to be the raid, which it probably won't be anytime soon, but for a Horde mode, pretty much kick back in my lounge chair. One side I got some kettle popcorn on the ready.
Ooh.
Other side I got my freshly popped can of Monster Chaos, the orange juice one, and fresh set of charged batteries because I'm known to like, oh guys, crap, hold on.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to pull an all-nighter because I'm getting the old man dad that I am, I'm going to need to crank up some juice to make it happen because coffee, it's good, but Monster gets the veins rising.
Yeah.
I'll regret it the next. No, I don't drink anymore, but on those nights that I need to, I will.
Yeah.
I'll regret it the next day, but I'll enjoy the night.
Yeah.
Regret it the next days because I've heard of I'm sure you know the phrase beer shits. Is there a such thing as the monster shits?
No, not really. It's just that I stay up so late and my kids don't ever sleep in.
Yeah.
I'm kind of screwed.
Some kids are like that. Dad. It's like Christmas morning every morning.
That's my kids.
Like butt crack of
dawn. Go back to bed. But the sun's up. We have to get up. No.
It's not
this
up.
Weekend I told my son, I said, the sun's not up. Go back to bed.
He's like, this sun is.
Yeah. What about you, Dirty? What is it? Mountain Dew?
It would have been back in the day. It would have, yeah.
When you say back in the day, you mean like a few months ago?
Back in the day is in like more than 2 years ago, before I had a kid and before I stopped trying to drink so much soda. But yeah,
not bad.
Be mostly Mountain Dew. I think in my history of gaming in my younger years, I pulled off one all-nighter playing Call of Duty 4 with a friend of mine. I went to bed at 6 because I was in fact tired.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've only done it once. Normally my bedtime was 3 o'clock in the morning, because I discovered quickly that if I go to bed at 2 to 2:30 was my bedtime. Because if I went to bed at 3, I would only go to sleep for like 3 hours, and I would wake up totally rested, and it would drive me insane because I couldn't fall back asleep for like another hour and a half.
Yeah.
So it's like, not doing that anymore. So you know how it is.
So you got like the perfect sleep cycle right there.
Exactly. So it was mostly just Mountain Dew.
That's it. Nothing else. No snacks.
Whatever was in the house, really. Cheez-Its probably.
Cheez-Its, of course.
Speaking of staying up all night, it reminds me of back in the day when me and Adonis used to live together. We would play. It's back in the Halo. I think it was Halo 1. We would play it on Legendary, and we basically 2 different weekends, not back to back. We played it till the sun rose up, just like over and over. Man, talk about rough the next day. But when you look up and the sun's up again, like, holy crap, are we still doing this? We're not done yet.
To school. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
Good times.
Well, what about you, Circuit? The man, the myth, the legend.
Ha. The M, the M, the L. Man, I'm pretty old school. I drink coffee. I tend to drink coffee like all day long anyways. I tend to stay away from soda, but I do have a soft spot for Mountain Dew and the various Dew products. Guess I'm probably going to stick more with Livewire or whatever the white one is called. You guys remember the white one?
White out. It tasted like nothing.
Yeah. Tasted like nothing. It's berries or raspberry or something.
No, it tasted like paste.
Oh, that was glue. Whoops.
I'm all hopped up on Mountain Glue.
What do I do with my hands?
Noise.
Yeah, typically, I mean, for an all-nighter or a late-nighter at the very least, I mean, you got a family, you're doing dinner, and so I don't typically snack while I'm gaming. Also, just don't you hate picking up the controller and feeling like the grease from last night's meal or snack on it? It drives me nuts, dude. So I usually don't eat while I'm gaming. Unless it's like, hey, we need a quick break and no one actually ate dinner because we had to raid really early because some guy on the East Coast needed to go. But, besides that, charge those controllers or charge those batteries, man. Charge up your headset or get a fresh set of batteries, because I've been on the receiving end of Thaddeus's batteries dying.
Oh, yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah. Or anybody else's. It happens. Take a nap, actually. So it may sound like an old man type of advice, but dude, I mean, kids do it, so it must be cool, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Naps are amazing. And a 1.5 hour nap, I mean, is a perfect REM cycle.
It's true.
Also, that being said, what Dirty said, if he sleeps like 3 hours and wakes up feeling fine, that's because that's 2 sleep cycles, 2 REM cycles, rather. 1.5, 3 hours, 4.5, etc. So I usually can't sleep more than 4.5 hours in one go. Anyways, I'm pretty classic terrible sleep case. Like I would be great for a study. I'm sure terrible for a study because I'd be in there bored all night long. But I just sometimes
go to sleep, guys.
Yeah, I just can't do it. Probably has nothing to do with all the coffee I drink throughout the day, which is a bad habit I picked up working for offices for years.
Yeah, you and I are on the same page, man.
Yep.
You go drink some office mud, keep you going.
Yep.
Shorts. Also, shorts are a big part of my gaming regimen because you're sitting there wearing jeans or your work slacks or something. It starts to get a little sweaty.
What gets sweaty?
All of it. Just all of it. You're a couple hours into the raid, or you're playing, especially if you're playing Crucible or PvP in some game. After a couple hours, man, you're just going to have a big ball of water sitting right down in your crotch parts. Like, just shorts, man. Shorts. You got to air them puppies out.
Yeah.
But I'm also a fan of the drunk raid or drunk horde. Get your beer on. And that's actually when the snacks might start to come out. And I'm kind of bad about Doritos, but I don't munch them in my friend's ear like you do, Mule.
Oh, I got a story about that.
Yeah, you do.
Well, let's hear it.
So before I get too far into it, my perfect setup is I alternate beer and water. So I'll have a cup of water and some beer beside me. And so, of course, pre-gaming, you got to go get your beer. You got to get it cold. You have your beer, your water. And I have this little bitty mini fan by me. So when it gets sweaty, I can just turn it on. So I don't get hot. And I always go with like those Adidas basketball shorts and a t-shirt.
Yep.
So that I'm all like comfy. I'm good to go. I got my headset, got my beer, got my water. And then especially when it comes to raids, because anybody that's played with me knows when someone sits down, they start talking about the raid and they're like, okay, we're going to do this and we're going to do this. I'm like, Mulehorn gaming, let's just go. I just jump out there. Yeah. So snacks help me be tided over for stuff like that. And I've been known to eat Doritos and other chips. My story is we were playing, it was when the Division came out and we were playing the Division, and it was Destinaut, Scarecrow, myself, N64 Josh,
that story.
Deadman, a couple other guys that we were all we learned how to get in the same server in the dark zone, and we were just going to kind of just romp everybody. And it was taking forever to do. So, what did Mule do? Pulled out my chips, and I was like, and Deadman goes, oh my gosh, whoever does that, I'm going to kill you right now. Of course I died. Because
the whole dark zone can hear you do that.
Yeah. And I was like, I got him on. It's pretty funny. But yeah, that's my kind of go-to setup. You got to alternate the beer and the water. Or if you just go you were saying with the drunk raid night or something like that, and you have a lot of beer, always get a Gatorade to chase it so that when you wake up in the morning, you're not dehydrated.
Oh yeah. I didn't know this was also a conversation about how to avoid a hangover, because that's an entirely different class altogether.
Yeah,
I don't ever do beer for long raid nights or whatever, because me and my self-diagnosed hypoglycemia, all that sugar builds up, and that few beers in, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so tired.
You want to pass out.
I want to pass out, and my longevity is shot. So if it's going to be a long night, it's not a sixer, it's a can of Monster.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah. Cool, guys. Well, I just wanted to get to know you guys a little better on that stuff. I've never asked you, so I wanted to know.
Getting to know you.
Took you long enough, punk.
Okay, that deuce.
The deuce.
So, Gears of War has released. It's here, guys. And we're going to be as spoiler-free as possible. One, because only Circuit has finished the story mode. But I think we've all jumped into the story. We've jumped into Horde.
Nope.
Oh,
I've seen enough videos. I know what it's about. So
we did. So let's just get to it.
I know what the Horde story's about. It's okay.
The Horde stories. So let's get to it and just talk about the story a little bit, guys, and dish on that. So, what's your initial thoughts so far of what you played, as spoiler free as you can get?
I was kind of disappointed that they kind of squandered such an opportunity to really remake the series in terms of like gameplay itself. I mean, it's Gears. I mean, there's no denying that. There's no being all like, no man, it ain't Gears like it used to be. Like, no, it's Gears exactly like it
pretty
used
much
to be.
is.
And it's good and it's bad at the same time. 'Cause it's like, yeah, people who know the series know how to play the game and whatnot. There's not like a whole lot of like a relearning curve. But at the same time, I was hoping that they would mix things up at least a smidge bit, and they really didn't.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like with controls and things like that?
Yeah, that and just like even the swarm are the locust. I mean, the little juvie things are wretches. The drones are drones. the bigger things are like the halfway between those. You know, like there's other connections to make between the two enemies that really just feels like they reskinned them. But the lore behind those enemies are more interesting. That I will not get too much into because I know that he has no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
and I don't want to ruin that for him. So.
Yeah.
Oh, bud, thanks.
There are a couple of enemies that, I mean,
Bruce Willis is a ghost.
Unless they were represented in Judgment, I don't think that the archetypes, at least, were in the series before. And I'm thinking of the Pouncers and Snatchers, which I'm guessing are grown-up Pouncers, maybe? They look pretty similar. Except the Snatchers are, like, as big as... well, now my Gears 3 knowledge is slipping, but the big flying things that would come in and land in front of you.
Those big things.
Those big
they fly.
Things.
The what now?
The big things, they fly.
Yeah, they were one of the Horde bosses. They looked like they were used to fly on. They'd come and just land, and they'd shoot missiles at you and stuff.
Oh, like
I remember that one.
Yeah, the like in the scene where the Hammer of Dawn went out in the prologue.
Yeah,
the rideable tentacle thing.
Cedars?
No, it's like a flying squid type thing.
The Reavers.
Thank you.
Reavers, yes.
I love you guys' description.
Right, it's a flying squid.
The squid thing with missiles.
That was not far off. Yeah, the Snatchers are kind of like replacing the Reavers in that sense to me, where it's like, okay, it's kind of a sub boss, a mini boss, you know, kind of like Brumox are not the end all be all, but okay, this is going to be a relatively tough fight. I did like the new mechanic they introduced with the Brumox, which spoilers aside, it is a little more raid like, at least in the campaign, to kill the crystallized type of
the Swarmac.
Yeah, the Swarmac. Yeah,
which was just stupid.
That naming convention was pretty lame. If I'm being honest.
I didn't realize that they were calling it until I died the fourth time. I'm like, wait, what did that say? Swarmac?
Yes.
Really?
Swarmac?
Yeah. What the dick?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that when they refer to it as the Swarm, Marcus's response, and it's like, okay, maybe it's only these three people who are calling them Pouncers and Snatchers and Juvies and all that stuff. Like, these are not official
it just kind of
COG designations by any means. These are just, well, I don't know what the we're shooting at, but we need to give them some kind of name functionally.
I mean, without hopefully trying to get too in depth, I mean, the COG, which isn't even the motherfucking COG anymore, really,
right?
Had no idea what was going on either.
Yeah.
So I just found that out today, and
yeah.
But it's kind of hard trying to tiptoe around this with the idiots here, and
I'm
trying to be like, get out of here, motherfucker. But at the same time,
when I was playing it, I actually started playing through the campaign, and then our bro Cheesemo jumped in with me, and that was pretty fun having a bro that's like a big time Gears head go through and just he let me just experience. He's like, yeah. And like we were playing, I think it was toward the start of the game, and it was like it was raining, and I was like, dude, hold on a second, and like it caught my eye, the detail of the water droplets hitting your armor and like rolling off and beating up in certain spots. I was like, man, I would love to see this in like a high res monitor, because I don't have a high res monitor. I was like, this would look absolutely amazing. And as we were playing it, I just kept kind of looking around. I was like, man, this looks so just pretty and gorgeous and cool.
Bifrost, motherfucker.
Yeah, it was like I just kept looking around. I was like, this is so cool. And as we kept playing, I was like, man, I'm I've been known to play Gears, but I'm not like a super Gears fan. But I'm really digging it, man. I am. I'm liking the story. I'm jiving on it, and I'm liking the gameplay. The only downside is I can't play it around my kids, so it has to be late at night. But
yeah.
But and of course, then it had, to my surprise, one of my favorite lines in the game, and me and Cheese were like, "What? Oh my gosh!" So when we got to the part where he's like, "What's in the barn, Dad?" It's like a couple of mules. I was like, "Yeah,
yeah,
we made it. We're in Gears." Yeah, but story mode so far, man, I've just been digging its chili. So
yeah,
I won't be able to get into Horde until probably Saturday.
Yeah,
Saturday. All right,
because I don't work and my fiance does work, and yeah. If I have enough steam after this tonight, then maybe, because apparently she's getting drinks with friends as she texts me, but
all snap.
I don't know.
Horde mode.
Let me know, man,
We'll have to
because
see.
I am down. I'll probably be angling to do that myself. Or
Yeah,
otherwise,
Angle
let us know
with
on
angle.
Saturday.
Yeah. So speaking of Horde, our man here, Circuit, and myself, and a bunch of other cool bros got in. Johnny Cage, Low-Key Kills All. Who else did we have in there? We had a whole
Cheesemo.
group. Cheesemo, Gravy
It's just
Kingpin.
5. I think I had to leave somewhat early, so I know Gravy, I think you guys said, came in later on.
Yeah, so what do you think, since it's just us, Circuit,
Uh-huh.
what do you think of the Horde mode so far? What do you like about it? Anything familiar?
Well, I completely skipped Judgment, so I might let Dirty dish on that a little bit, because the class system is completely new to me. I don't know how exactly it worked in Judgment, but I am glad at the very least that you can choose whatever character you want to play, and then also choose your class independently of that. You don't have to say, okay, I'm Baird, I'm the engineer, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I would love to get the Baird skin, because I always played as Baird in all the older titles. That was my multiplayer and Horde character.
Nice.
Baird for life. And yeah, the fortifications are similar. They didn't really change the formula. I don't think they didn't like reinvent the wheel. The biggest thing they did was to introduce power and the way that you gather that. And again, I don't know if that was in Judgment or not, but before you just made money by killing stuff, and that let you purchase, like in Gears 3, you had your target dummies or decoys that you could put out. You could put out turrets, you could put out your fortifications like your razor wire or laser fences and stuff like that. The airdrops are basically the same, where if you every now and then they'll give you an additional objective to complete during a round of Horde. Say, okay, you have to kill 10 enemies within a 30-second window, and then you'll get a supply drop, which will drop right around where your fabricator is, which is also kind of a new situation for me, because you can, as soon as you get into a Horde match, the fabricator is basically this box that, imagine Picard walking up to the fabricator and saying, "Tea, Earl Grey, hot." Because that's basically what it does. It just generates items for you, and then you yank them out of that thing. They cost power, which is like the currency that you accrue throughout playing Horde. You start out with a little bit, but what you have to do is collect it from fallen enemies and return it to the fabricator to get money. And then, the benefit is like the engineer can feasibly, if you have the right skills equipped, build stuff more quickly, build stuff with more health, or which does more damage, or you can move more quickly with it depending on which skills you have. The scout class is designed to kind of, I guess you could say, jungle the map more or less, and run around and shotgun guys and pick up the power, because the scout actually has a skill that will give you, I want to say, 10% more when you deposit into the fabricator. So that class is kind of designed for the person like you, Mule, who might be kind of bored sitting against the same sandbag all night long.
That's what I switched to after he left as the scout. And I love it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, for me, like I like the engineer, but I know I'll end up putting a lot of time into it. So I've been working on the soldier class, which is basically basic gears skills. Your rifles do more damage. You'll take less damage in cover. And again, these skills are cards that you have to level up and collect from the gear packs and assign. And as you level up that particular class, you'll eventually unlock 5 slots for different cards. So right now I've only got like 1 on each class, right? But there's green, blue, and purple class abilities.
So when you were going through and first starting Horde mode, did you feel like when I got the packages, the package system, I was like, dude, this feels a lot like Halo. Like, did you think that too? Like, as you saw the packs you could open up and get certain like skins and gear and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think it's exactly like the Halo Rec system, except that you can get duplicates of cards you already have, but that is also how you upgrade the cards. So let's say I got the card for the soldier class and it says you'll do 10% more damage with all of your auto rifles. Right, so like the Lancer, Hammer Burst, if you collect another one of those cards, you can use that to upgrade the first one to level 2, and now it'll do 20% more.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you want to hold on to your duplicates, at least for the ones that you think you're going to be using.
Yeah.
And the
shotgun!
yeah, and the scout gets the shotgun damage skill. If you're not going to use it, you can delete it and get scrap. And then scrap can be used to actually craft skills that you haven't even drawn. So you can kind of pick out the ones that you know you want or that you need to upgrade, because eventually you'll need 3 to upgrade it, 5 to upgrade it to the higher levels, and so on. So you can kind of sort of just skip the whole gambling system and scrap them. Although the exchange rate is, frankly, shit. But that's kind of to be expected. I personally think the packs are either a little overpriced still, or the payouts are a little under where they should be. They did increase the payouts for completing matches in multiplayer, and they lowered the price of the Elite Gear Pack, which used to be 4,000 credits, now it's 3,500 credits. Yeah. And for example, as you're leveling up, you'll hit certain milestones, and they'll give you like 500 credits. But once you hit level 100, and keep in mind, the second half of that journey, it's grindy, and it's going to take forever to level up. You know how that generally works.
Yeah.
It's not going to be as reliable of a source. But when you're playing Horde mode, I mean, you can end up walking out of there with a few hundred credits or more, depending on your performance. And if you go play stuff like King of the Hill, or objective-based modes, you can really jack up your score by getting objectives, and that's going to let you get more credits more quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, man, as I was playing it, I was just like, dude, this feels a lot like the Halo Rec system.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like the classes, but I felt like I needed to know a little more about them because I hadn't played Gears of War 3 in forever.
Dude, they don't explain it until you're at the selection screen and the timer is already ticking and you go to select your class.
Yeah.
Because I was looking for, like, where's the summary? Where does it tell me what these guys do? But in essence, there's no difference except for the skill cards you can equip.
Yeah.
So
I was
really,
like,
you just
frantic.
go mess around with your cards before you jump into Horde mode, and that'll kind of give you an impression of, okay, I want to work on this class and collect the cards for this one more. Like the Heavy, you start out with the Boom Shot and the Retro Lancer and a Bolt-Talk pistol.
Boom.
Yeah. Boom.
Yeah. Boom.
That's pretty cool, and you can eventually get perks that like increase your explosive damage or let you hold more explosive rounds or give you perks for the pistol.
Yeah.
You know, or when you mark an enemy, which pro tip, if you didn't know, and it seems like half the people who play the game don't know, when you aim down sights at an enemy, you can click in your left analog stick and mark them. It'll put a little red circle above the enemy's head.
Yep.
And the Heavy class has a skill that will make you do more damage to enemies that have been marked. So just makes sense to use it. Plus, you can also mark weapons and loot that's on the battlefield. So if you happen across like some frag grenades, but you're full, mark it so your teammates know, oh, hey, I can go grab some grenades now, you know?
Maybe I was spoiled with Destiny, but one thing that was hard for me was realizing like at one point in the game, I was running over to get some heavy, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna, or not heavy, but ammo. And I was standing on top of the ammo, and I was like, oh, wait, let me look at something real quick on Discord. And then I looked down, and I was like, my ammo's gone. And Loki's like, well, you were just staring out to nowhere.
Yep.
He swiped my ammo. Dang it, Loki kills all. Yeah, but man, I'm digging the Horde mode as well, and I really do wish they would have kind of gave me a little bit more detail on the classes, because that first round when we were playing, I selected like the sniper guy, and it was okay, but it's just not my style. And then the second time around when I got the scout, dude, I was running around shotgunning everything. It was so fun. I was just like, yeah, look at this. Boom. Yeah. And running around grabbing stuff, grabbing money. That was definitely my style. So
yeah, dude. Yeah, the biggest difference is the loadouts. I mean, when you first jump into Horde, before you get any of the cards or anything, it's the loadouts. So check that out. See, like I'm not such a huge fan of the Retro Lancer versus the normal Lancer, but
the is wrong with you?
Hey, it's reasonable, man. Lancer is way more accurate, has a bigger magazine, but also I've been playing the heavy a good amount, so I'm forced to use the Retro Lancer. And
dude, the Retro Lancer hits like a fucking beast.
Yeah, you can actually pop skulls with the Retro Lancer, whereas the normal Lancer, it's kind of, it's kind of just like it's a laser beam or bullet hose. Yeah. But you also get the chainsaw, which in higher levels of Horde is not really wise to use. But in the early few levels, it's definitely awesome to use.
I love the chainsaw. That's all I've been using for all the juvies in campaign. It's like,
did you know? Gears lore fun fact. The only reason that, let me save this real quick. Yes, I'm doing homework and podcasting at the same time. The only reason that they have the chainsaw bayonets is because Ty Kalisa recommended it.
Really? Huh.
Poor Ty.
Interesting tidbit of lore.
I actually hated Ty.
Oh, yeah?
He was way too chill. He was like, oh, everything happens for a reason. Like, dude, you just gotta have your entire squad blown up. React. Just do something. Have an emotion. God.
Hey, man, that's the kind of guy you need around in a situation where all the shit has hit the fan. Like, all the shits, Like, the worst thing about him, tribal tattoos. No one needs that stuff.
Everyone needs that.
I mean, what tribe are you in?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
What tribe are you in?
The tramp step. Yeah.
It's my tribe.
Well, did any of you guys...
tribe of one.
Did any of you guys get to play any PvP?
I'm not sure I'm going to play PvP, honestly.
I didn't get to play it. So, one more question on Gears. What do you guys think about the co-op being only 2 players? And I know we get split screen, right? But co-op's only 2. So, do you like that trade-off?
That's so dumb, dude.
Well, you don't always have 4 people. I don't understand why, besides that reason, they would disable 4-player co-op. I mean, at the very least, they could have implemented some random guy coming into your team. But, I mean, I'll try not to spoil any story there. But, one person from the team does get separated from you, and you have 3 for a while. So that 4th player, I don't know what they would be stuck doing. But you don't have any other outsiders to fill in that spot, and you certainly don't have the cog to give you like a random guy to. Because before you had you had Carmine, which basically was the kind of helmeted cog soldier who just fills up the team, so to say. But
I didn't even think about that, man. That might be the reason why they did it. Yeah, look at you in all logical circuit over here.
I'm just saying they could have designed the story that way because they couldn't support 4 people playing it at the same time. I don't know why that would be the case, but because if you can have split screen on the same console, surely you can have 4 people playing at the same time. But for the way this particular story went down, I guess I get it. They could have at least made it 3-player.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have still been better.
Would have been better than 2. It's always fun to play with friends. Dirty, you said you hate it?
I think it's dumb. I mean, they go from having full-on 4-player co-op in the last game, and we're not counting Judgment because Judgment sucks ass. But going from 4-player co-op in 3 to 2-player co-op in 4, this feels like a step backwards.
Yeah.
And I get that, you don't always have the amount of people there to back that team up, but just don't make a random person. I don't care.
That's what I'm saying. The chicken or the egg thing, was the technical issue there, or was the story issue there first?
Yeah.
Make a freaking lie and say that one of the outsiders from the village got out or got safe or whatever, and they can be the random person to fill in the team. But I don't know.
Yeah, it could have been some cool technology. I mean, maybe there's something that they stab into the back of a drone's head, and now he's on our side for a little while, or.
Yeah.
It's Gears. They do crazy crap like that they don't explain all the time. It could have worked, but
they don't have time to explain.
Actually, they do a decent job of explaining some of this stuff. I thought the story this time was a little more straightforward and linear than it has been in the past. Not quite as much actual lore, but I also think that maybe this game was designed as the Gears game for a new generation. They didn't want to completely reinvent the wheel. It's like the Coalition was just showing that they could take that torch and continue to run with it.
Yeah.
Which I personally think that they did. I think the dialogue is really great and hilarious. And if you don't dig on John DiMaggio, then I don't know what's wrong with you.
Something's wrong with you, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
What time is it? Time for you to shut the hell up.
Dude, that's Bender, that's Jake, and that's Marcus Phoenix. All right? It's one of my favorite voice actors. But besides that...
Also Banshee.
They brought... Oh, yeah. Also Banshee. Yeah. Keep that thing oiled, Guardian. Shut up. Old ass. Died 1,500 times. Can't remember how to tie his shoes in the morning.
That's why he's a gunsmith.
That's all he can do. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, dudes. Well, I just wanted to get y'all's thoughts on some of the gear stuff, and we tried to be as spoiler free as possible. So all you guys that are not diving in yet, you should be good. So,
well, once you guys all finish the campaign, though, we got some stuff to talk about, dude. We got some stuff. I mean, especially Dirty, because I know you played through the older games. I know you know a lot of that story. So once you finish it, we got to talk.
Yeah.
I mean, I just got to the part where those people showed up and you got in the things.
Oh, yeah.
So, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My hunch was right. It was half right.
Oh, yeah.
But it was right.
Yeah.
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 As soon as he said he's always pulling something out of his ass, I knew exactly who he was talking about.
You knew exactly. Right.
Oh, dang. Well, moving on, we're going to talk a little bit of Star Wars here with Rogue One. So they had their last trailer before the movie comes out on December 16th. And I wanted to discuss, guys, what's some of the things that popped out to you? I know we're not going to spend a ton of time on it, but I just wanted to kind of talk about it a little bit.
Oh, know we will. It's Star Wars.
I know.
And it's a better trailer, if you ask me.
Dude, that trailer looks so good, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I was watching it, and I came home from work, and my wife hadn't seen it yet, and I was like, hey, can I show you something? Because the kids were outside playing, and she's like, yeah. And her face, she was like, oh. I was like, yeah, it looks good, right? It looks good. Yeah.
Wait, is that code for something else, or are we talking Star Wars still?
Oh, dang. We're talking Star Wars. Yeah. So
yeah, I popped it up on YouTube and streamed it to the Xbox. I was like, watch this, and turn the volume on the soundbar all the way up. She was like, wait. Oh, it's like, yeah, you can actually glean almost the whole story from this trailer. I mean, obviously, if you're a deep Star Wars fan, you pretty much knew what was up, but there's a couple more details in this trailer, like Jen's dad.
Yep.
Right? That's not something I actually really knew about before this. So, what do you guys think about that?
I had heard rumors about it, so I think it's gonna. I would really love to see the ruthless side of Darth Vader and manipulating him, and holding that over him, and holding over knowing he has a daughter, something like that. I would love to kind of see that ruthless side, and then like in the trailer when we finally get to see him and he walks in through the smoke, I was like, dude.
Oh, it was just like a split freaking second too.
Yeah, but it looked good because he didn't look super clunky. Kind of like how he did, in like episode 4 and 5. But he was like walking up like a boss, and I was like, dude, this is gonna be so freaking good.
Like a boss.
And that looked like her dad was there. It looked like he, maybe he was all sweaty. Like, why are you all sweaty? He looked like he was running, maybe like trying to escape or something, and he had kind of tracked him down because Vader knows all that goes on in his realm, like it.
Yeah. Vader's coming. Look,
in that side of the galaxy. So interesting factoid: Alan Tudyk, actually from Firefly, is playing the droid that you see right there on the cover. K2SO.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And also, if you didn't know, that is going to be James Earl Jones playing Darth Vader's voice.
Heck yeah, dude.
Which, if it was anybody else, while he's alive, that would have been a mistake. Fired.
That's a bag of nopes.
Bag of nopes.
Big old bag of nopes.
Bag of nopes.
I'm also super stoked for Donnie Yen, dude.
Oh, dude!
Like last person I would think to be in Star Wars, but the first person I am super duper stoked to see in action in a Star Wars movie.
He looks kind of like a monkish Jedi follower,
That's exactly what he is. I'm pretty sure we talked about that before.
I know, but he has that look. Like he fits the role really well.
He doesn't seem like he has the Force.
He did a good job casting him.
I think he's just a supporter.
Yeah.
Right. No, he follows the way of the Force and the Jedi. He's like you said, he supports it, but he's not Force sensitive.
Right. And he looks blind. Also, he is blind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. But I mean, he's shooting a bowcaster in one of those scenes, so he must have some sort of. I don't know if he's Force sensitive, but if he wasn't, how the hell is he shooting when he's blind?
He's just gonna wing it. He's like, wing it. Well, I can't do any worse than a stormtrooper.
He's like a kung fu magician, anyways, and maybe that's where it comes from. But I don't know.
Yeah,
space kung fu,
space karate,
karate, whatever it was.
Space karate.
Space karate. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things that I really like as we're looking at the trailer poster, I love how they made Vader kind of in the background of the Death Star, kind of menacing, looking over the shoulder of everyone, like, hey, I'm right here.
Yeah, I actually just noticed that a couple minutes ago when I was looking at the notes. Like, oh, snap, there's Vader. I found Waldo.
Yeah. He's like menacing, looking over. And I don't know if you guys caught this on the trailer, but it looked like there was a quick shot of either a Jedi or a Sith statue laying in the sand.
Yeah.
And then it showed an explosion of some kind of temple or something, and I compared some pictures of Korriban, and I was like, dude, that looks exactly like the Sith's homeworld. It looks almost exactly like it, like the valley there in Korriban where they had the temple, where they had tons of the Sith artifacts. I was like, and if you've ever played KOTOR, you'd know that area pretty well. And just comparing and looking at those pictures side by side, do you think we're going to see some type of Jedi temple or some type of Sith temple or something in here?
Hope not.
Why?
Because it's not a movie about the Jedi or the Sith.
Right, but what if they threw it in there? Because they are always the undertone.
Star Wars isn't always about Jedi and Sith, dude.
No, but it's the undertone. It's kind of fluid. The Force is the central focus.
I guess. But there's other outlets to the Force besides Sith and Jedi.
Is there?
But anyway,
I'd
prefer not to see it because it's like, I want to see stuff about these people. I want to see, it's like, this is probably the best thing that we're going to get as it stands right now to a movie or anything of that nature about the Empire, about the rebellion, and not focusing on Force users.
Yeah.
Because lightsabers are cool, no doubt about that, but there's a lot more to Star Wars than lightsabers.
I think that the Clone Wars did a pretty good job with that, personally.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but it was the Clone Wars, so every Jedi was a general. So, they're always going to be there.
Right.
But, if this is Korriban, I think I'd be more okay with it if it was something like a flashback or some sort of meditative vision or something where it's like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. It's not the overtone, or it's not like, oh, it's just like, oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Or like Vader finding some artifacts or something like that.
It could just be an old ruin. They might not delve in that at all. It could just be pretty scenery that they put into the trailer. It's thousands of years old. It's been buried in the sand.
That's true.
Since it got blowed up however long ago, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
In the Clone Wars, they refer to it as Morban.
Yeah.
It's got like a different name or something, if I remember.
Yeah,
right.
They're kind of bringing back a lot of the old Republic lore, especially if you're watching Rebels, like with Malachor. And if you played quarter 1 or 2, you know what happens to that planet and what happens at the Jedi Sith Civil War and the Mandalorian Wars, what happens on that planet. So you kind of know what's going down when you see that in Rebels. And so it seems like they're bringing some of that old lore back. Because it's so good and so rich, I don't see why they wouldn't,
Well, abandon it all would just enrage so many Star Wars fans. It would also be dumb because, hey, look how much writing has already been done for you.
Yeah, yeah. And it just, I would love to just, even if it's just a cameo, like, hey, they were at this planet, now they're moving to this planet. It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But if it is Korriban or Morban, then chances are that's probably not a Jedi statue.
Yeah. That's probably a Sith. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool, dudes. Any other thoughts before we move into Word on the Tweet? I take that as
that last episode of Rebels.
How'd you like that?
Man, I was like, wait, what was his name? Oh, no, wait. Yeah, it is. It is. It's him. So I don't want to spoil anything, but, there's a fairly notable character in the last episode of of Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah. Did you catch the line by Sabine about her training?
Oh, well, yeah.
She's like, we already knew that. My clan trained me better.
Oh.
So it was kind of a nod to the Mandalorians.
Well, she is. She is one.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. It's like, it was kind of cool to hear that.
Left, because this is clearly after, all the stuff from Clone Wars went down and where that way of life was kind of, I guess I'm pretty sure, abandoned. It was people like Death Squad who were trying to perpetuate that way of life, like the old Mandalorian,
the
warlike way of life, right?
Yep.
But that doesn't mean they suck at fighting now. They just don't go out and destroy people and hunt people for the fun of it as much anymore.
Yeah. Yep.
But they still got baller armor and they still got skills. And
I got skills, dog.
Yeah. She was perfect person for the job, and definitely an awesome cameo from a legit Star Wars character.
Yep. It's good. Well, cool, dudes. Let's go ahead and move on to Word on the Tweet.
Work that tweet.
Word on the Tweet.
All right, guys. Well, we got a few Word on the Tweets here, and we'll just start off with our bro at Loki Kills All. And he says, new Rogue One trailer, discuss. Well, we kind of just did, bro. So,
yeah.
And you did said it was kind of generic. So, but yes, we did cover it. So,
kind of out there.
Moving on to the next one, we have our bro at Adam underscore Ratliff. And he says,
Radamatliff.
Late, but how annoying are inconsistencies in a series such as Star Wars? what are the worst you've seen? Hashtag word on the tweet. You know, man, I think with what Star Wars has and how big it is, they haven't done a horrible job with tying everything together. You know,
I think that's partly due, at least now, to Disney throwing out all the old canon.
Yeah, totally. I was just gonna say that. Yeah, I mean, now the canon's probably they got all their ducks in a row.
Yeah.
Whereas prior, you had stuff like Jar Jar Binks thrown in there. What the crap?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can't just delete him, unfortunately. I mean, George Lucas could have, but
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that does kind of annoy me when you get into other stories or games, because like if you're not a Star Wars fan, you would be so confused right now with what's canon and what's not canon. You'd be like, wait, what? This amazing story happened, but it's not canon? Then why do I keep seeing it in video games? Or why do I see, So, I don't know. Is there any others?
Even for a long time now, if you look up most characters or stories in the Star Wars universe, they would tend to keep the movie info separate from the extended universe info. So it shouldn't be that hard to kind of, segregate the facts.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it kind of both ways. Because, like, if we start talking about Malik and Revan and, all these other older Siths, people will be like, what? What's this?
Who dat?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really think of any big inconsistencies or continuity errors in a big franchise like that lately. I don't know. What about you guys?
I was thinking of, like, Civil War, Captain America or Marvel stuff, but... Yeah, I can't think of anything right off the bat that really triggers me as like that was way off. I think I recall some when they happened, but I guess they weren't significant enough where I kind of forgot about it.
Sure.
So, well, yeah, and Marvel also threw it out that, hey, we're not going to follow the exact comic book storyline,
Right.
But I think there is going to be
that could be what he means.
Yeah. It is kind of annoying in some things, but at the same time, I kind of don't want to read the same story I already read.
Yeah.
Well, here's one for you. Granted, I like where they're at now with the Hulk, but all the Hulks leading up to this one were like inconsistent and bad.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
There's a good example for you there.
Yeah.
Now they finally got him right, pretty much.
It's like they washed their hands of all non-Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Hulks, right?
Yeah. Well, cool. Let's move on to the next one. It's at I am Matt Man. What's up, bro? And he says, if you had a chance to be any other living human being, who would you choose? Hashtag word on the tweet. Keyword here is living. Living.
Like currently living?
Yeah. Other living human being. Who would you choose?
I mean, dead would be easier.
Living, I would have to go with Matt Man.
You would be
Matt Man. No, man, I don't know. Living, gosh.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, I was going to have to say someone like that, like Hugh Jackman or, gosh, I don't know, man.
Why Hugh Jackman?
I don't know, because I'm Wolverine.
Yeah.
You know what? Just for that, Nathan motherfucking Fillion.
Oh,
there you go, bro.
Okay, yeah,
that's not a bad decision.
Trump card.
There you go.
You know what I think would be cool? Somebody who works for Lucas and or Disney, who's just so I could be like a fly on the wall for all these productions.
Yeah.
For the next decade or more. Like a rigger, best boy, something on set for like Rogue One, next episodes 8, 9, Han Solo, Boba Fett movies, Yoda, like that would be awesome.
I'd be Morgan Freeman. That way, everything I said would be epic.
Tootie sprinkles.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, our next word on the tweet is from our bro at Johnny Caged 85, and he actually has a few here, so we're just going to kind of dive into them as we go. He's got some good ones. And he says, Delta Squad from Gears and Blue Team from Halo, Master Chief and crew versus Marcus and his crew. Who wins? Hashtag word on the tweet. Can I start?
I got to give that to the Chief, man. Probably. Yeah. I mean, Marcus is just a normal dude. They might be from Sarah. They might be super duper stocky, but they're not genetically enhanced or anything.
Nope.
Yeah. and like Chief and those guys, like he was trained from birth how to be a tactical warrior,
tactical tank,
and like in his armor, he's what, like 1,000 pounds, something like that, and something that big and that fast hits a human, even if you're in COD armor, like you're done, dude.
No, yeah.
You are squished. You're squish.
Much as we like Delta Squad, dude, yeah. They're bug juice.
Yeah. T-Prime, you agree?
Oh, yeah, definitely agree.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Sparks for the win.
Spartans, we're all Halo fanboys here.
It's kind of like saying, okay, Superman versus another hero. Like,
Thor.
You may wish Superman would lose, but he probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
Just because he's Superman and kind of lame like that.
He's OP.
Yeah.
Yeah. So his next word on the tweet says, Destiny has created quite the backlog of unplayed games for me. What games are in your backlog? Hashtag word on the tweet. That's a really good one. I'll start and say that I have only probably got through 3/4 of Recore. And
oh, yeah?
I really want to finish that game because it's just so good. But right now I'm like, I have Gears. I have Rise of Iron. I'm trying to get back to it, but I just, like, when I turn on, I'm like, I want to finish Gears. I want to do Destiny, so I know it'll always be there for me. So it's not like that is horrible or anything, but yeah, definitely need to get back into Recore.
I'd say for me, Recore as well. Finish the release cross compat of Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, yeah.
And Borderlands: The Handsome Collection.
Ooh, good. Those are good.
You don't even play Borderlands. What are you talking about?
Hey, man, I played a little bit of it. Just not my style.
Really?
It's not my style.
Was it the controls for you, Mule? Was it the controls?
No, man, this sounds really snobby, but the cartoony like looking games are just not my cup of tea. And it looks a little too cartoony.
There's just no
for me.
pleasing you ever, is there, Mule?
It's just not my cup of tea, man. I like
Yeah, but you watch Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, those are easily more cartoony and legitimate canon
but
Star Wars.
But it's a show.
Right?
If it's not Al Grey, it's not real tea.
What just happened?
But you know what I'm saying? Like that's a cartoon show. Like when I play a game, I want to be kind of immersed in a new fantasy world that could feel real. But yeah.
You need that real feel.
I need that real feel. Oh, backlog! I forgot too. Skyrim. This is funny, but I've never completed Skyrim because I get so sidetracked with stuff in the game.
Squirrel. You don't complete Skyrim anyway.
I know.
Skyrim completes you.
Oh.
Wow. Wait, so you mean like the main storyline, like the main primary quest line? You didn't finish?
No, because I always got sidetracked with like, I want to build up this. I want to do this.
Dude, it's the quickest thing, though.
It is. It takes like 15 minutes.
I know, but I can't do that. Like, I want, like, before I go into the next battle, I'm like, hey, I really want this perk. Let me work on that. I really want this perk. Let me work on that. And then I'm like this master assassin, and I never go back to it and finish it,
Yeah.
I always ended up going like all stealth and shit. And my super easy cheat was use Muffle, I believe was the spell. Because it took like 5 points of magic.
Yeah.
And it would just skyrocket. It was like muffle, 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 muffle. Oh, look, I just went up like 3 points in magic. Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you remember playing Oblivion and you just jump everywhere to increase your acrobatic skill.
See, if you could jump anywhere and just do that, and I would just spend my entire day jumping up and down mountains because
jump around.
Can.
Jump around.
Yeah. Mountain goat.
What about you, Circuit and Dirty?
Down?
I didn't hear any backlog games for you guys.
A few things. I would like to get back into Assassin's Creed Chronicles because that was pretty fun. But Destiny kind of took my my steam away from that. I also have my second playthrough of Deus Ex Mankind Divided that I still have yet to refinish.
Yeah.
So I'd like to go back and do that. And also Diablo, because it's Diablo.
Diablo?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Diablo is one of those kind of idle games. Like, I could do something else and play Diablo at the same time.
Don't take the name of Diablo in vain.
No, nothing against Diablo. It's just the dungeon crawly type of gameplay. Like
I will dungeon crawl my foot up your ass.
yeah. I played the shit out of Torchlight 2 though, and so like I appreciate the gameplay. I played Diablo and was like, it's kind of a lot the same.
You're kind of played out
again.
Deckard Cain does not approve of you.
Deckard Cain.
Blasphemy.
I never actually played. I played some Red Dead, but I didn't ever own the game. I was just like, my roommates have it. I watched them play it and stuff way back in the day. That would be a good one for me to get into. And there's a lot of actually somewhat good indie titles, even on backwards compatibility, that I feel like if I didn't have that push, the eternal drive from Bungie and Destiny to, hey, don't forget to get on this week because you're going to miss out on that one artifact.
Yeah.
That I might dig into a little bit more.
You can get 2 a week, actually.
Well, there you go.
2 artifacts a week?
Yeah, just do it on a different character.
Oh, well, then I could get 3.
Boom.
There you go.
But I'm not doing that.
Nope.
Because I've been playing Horde mode and Gears, and I actually didn't even, whenever Gears came out, I haven't been on Destiny, like, very much at all.
Yeah.
Which is, kind of liberating. And I remember thinking, like, well, I guess I need to beat Axis, but I've done the rest of the raid, and I need to get the pulse rifle that basically everybody else is just cheated and looked up, so who cares? And I don't have the Thorn quest, so
who cares?
Whoop-de-frickin' do.
Yeah.
I mean, Destiny...
It'll be there for you.
It's got its number. You know what I mean? Like, it's good. Rise of Iron is a good expansion. It's got the grind down. But I think I'm to the point where it's not going to keep me from playing other games now.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. We will see.
So, the last word on the tweet from at Johnny Cage85, he says, Gears of War movie is coming. Cast your heroes. Who would you want to play these iconic roles? # word on the tweet. I don't really know, man.
That's a good one.
No.
Maybe all new faces.
Off the top of my head, if they did this one, and I know this is kind of a crappy example, but I think it would be hilarious, is if Channing Tatum played JD.
There you go.
Because he's kind of got the towhead thing going on. He's a buff dude.
Yeah.
And is actually better being funny than he is being serious.
Right. Yeah.
Man, I can't think of anybody that could play Marcus. Like,
nope.
Who could play that role?
The giant from Game of Thrones.
Maybe.
No, sorry, the mountain.
But he doesn't have that grungy voice.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
You need that grunge.
Like we said in chat, man, just have John DiMaggio work out for a year and he could do it.
That would be probably the best option there. So, our last word on the tweet is from at Draco Augustus, and he says, with the new Halloween-themed Overwatch maps and Zombot Brawl, will it draw you back from Festival of the Lost? # word on the tweet. You know what? I'm going to play Overwatch before I'll play Festival of the Lost, so it doesn't even need to draw me back because I don't give a rip about Festival of the Lost.
Who's being drawn to Festival of the Lost? First off, who are you talking to?
Too many Destiny players. Yeah.
Streamers?
I mean, Destiny's not a bad game. And it's like we kind of talked about a few podcasts ago. Like, we're seeing a lot of these Halo editions and whatnot. But it's less like, if I want to go have some fun and get loot on the side, I'm going to go play Overwatch rather than jump through 9 hoops to get a mask and Festival of the Lost that I'll never use again.
Yeah.
Maybe if there's something else to it, like they said that they're going to update Sparrow Racing League to where if you don't want to race, there are other activities to participate in. So maybe if there's a cool cosmetic or something in it, but the masks didn't give you, stats or anything. So as far as I'm concerned, it's literally just silly side content that doesn't matter.
And it's something for you.
Takes away from the seriousness of the game.
Something for you and your friends to laugh at. That's pretty much it. So
yeah. oh, look, I'm Crota. Watch me jump off the ledge.
I'm the Cryptard. Look at me.
Yeah.
That's like 30 minutes max.
Yeah.
Well, cool, dudes. That about wraps up the word on the tweet. Any other final thoughts, closing thoughts, or any cool stories before we put a bow on this? Nope. Dude,
play Gears of War 4, man.
Dude, do it. If you don't have it, do
good.
it.
Yeah.
Well, if you could, guys, like us on Facebook, leave us a review on iTunes, and you can follow us all on Twitter. We got at Dirty Bombs, at Thaddeus Prime, at Circuit 8, and all of us at Mulehorn Gaming. And remember, when in doubt,
blow it up! Blow it up. For the Horde. Boom. 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 Boom.
That same. Bravo. If it's not Earl Grey, it's not real tea.